Hello Exiles and welcome to a new video. In this one, you'll see me do and explain how I do the Rarity farm that I just completed, 44 maps. And yeah, I'm recording this intro a day after because I completely forgot about it. And yep, just wanted to make a quick character overview. Basically, this is my Magic Find Ritualist build with the bow, mainly using the Spiral Volley for clearing, and mainly the Rarity modifier, 164 Rarity. However, they nerfed Rarity in the last patch, like the player Rarity, and I have no idea how impactful 164 Rarity is, and I don't think anyone really has an idea because this I would say needs a lot of testing. So yeah, I ran it on 164 Rarity plus 15 sometimes from my golden charm, right? So that's that, and I don't have any information, it's just based on my feeling, but I do have a feeling in my gut for some reason that the Rarity, like 164 Rarity, isn't that impactful. I just don't know why, but I have a feeling that it doesn't make that much of a difference. Obviously, it's always gonna be the more the better, right? So the more you get, the more loot you're gonna drop. But I don't know if it... like, as I said, probably no one has an idea yet. And I also don't have an idea, but that's just my the feeling in my gut. And I do think I would rather, instead of having Rarity on my gear, have like right here, I would rather have another flat damage roll or something, just better damage roll. So yeah, I would probably, if I would have to redo all the gear, I would probably run like around 100 or 90 Rarity with just better damage. That would mean completing the maps faster and yeah, just blasting a bit quicker. I'm already having almost 64 movement speed when I have energy shield, and that feels good. Yeah, so this is the overview of the character I was running the farm with. Now let's get into the real meat of the video. Alright, so this is the setup I'm gonna be running now for magic finding. And yeah, I've run the citadel. I've covered it in my last video, so if you want to check that out, the link will be in the description. And yeah, because of that, the setup is with actually some increased chance to waste stones found, but mainly here the 22 quantity and 7 rarity. And these maps are a bit different, but they're also 3 overlapping towers, 22 quantity, 27 rarity, so these will be probably a bit better for the magic finding, but these will also do. And if you're wondering, it's about 22 maps that I'm gonna be running right now with this magic find setup in this whole area right here. And yeah, each and every single map will be ran twice because I've got the unique tablet that maps remove irradiation instead of being completed. So that means I'm gonna complete each and every single map twice. And yeah, so all in all, it's gonna be 44 maps of magic finding. Alright, and the maps I'll be running, all of these pretty much look like this I have right here. All of them have minimum, at least, rarity and quantity, or rarity. Nothing else interesting on these maps, basically just rarity and quantity, or yeah, basically rarity, quantity hybrid, or just rarity. All of these gonna be pretty much the same. I've got a couple better maps with combined modifiers like quant and rarity with number of rare monsters, or those with like rare monsters have additional modifier, or some of these hybrids that have quant rarity and rarity, or these premium, really premium ones, quantity rarity and rarity roll, and also rare monsters have an additional modifier. But for the sake of this strategy, I'm not going to be running these. I'm going to be running only these maps I have prepped right here. All of them are pretty much the same. So, how do I roll these maps? These Rarity maps that look like these. And it's pretty simple and similar to how I roll my Citadel maps, as you might have seen in the last video. And it's just, first of all, I've got it sorted out pretty nicely, right? So this is where all the maps that I drop go to. And also these are just traversing maps. And I know that these are just all the maps that I've dropped. So first of all, what I do is I type in normal and take out all the normal quality maps and slam them with Omen of Sinister Alchemy. Exactly the same process that I do when I try to craft my Citadel maps, but this time it's for prefix modifiers and not suffix modifiers because of magic finding, right? So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna click my Omen of Sinister Alchemy and use my alchemy orb on the waystone, and it's gonna come with full prefixes. And as you can see, this one rolled pretty nicely, I would say, because it has Rarity, it has additional packs, which means it can also have additional rare monsters in those packs, and also increased magic monsters and increased number of rare monsters hybrid modifier. So this is a pretty decent map, I would say. At least, yeah, mediocre map, whatever, not bad, right? Just for one of these omens. But you have to keep in mind that they do cost about 4 exalts for each. But I think these are well worth it. I think these are. So I would recommend buying these. And after I have all the normal maps, that's usually not a lot of them, as you might have seen it if I type in normal again. 3 maps right here and a couple more, so all in all like 9 maps. So I would just hand check them in my inventory, and then I would place them into the correct tab, right? And after I'm done with normal maps, I'm just gonna type in rare, and it's gonna highlight all the rare maps or maps like these with number of rare monsters, right? So what I'm gonna do next is not actually pick up the rares, but I'm gonna pick up all the magic maps, because all of them are gonna be magic, right? Because now I want to pick up the magic maps. As you can see, all of them are magic. So I'm gonna pick up a couple for an example. And yeah, I'm gonna leave the highlighted ones in. And once I picked up all the magic maps, I'm gonna put them into different stash tab. But I don't think you have to do that. You can sort it in the map stash tab. But I do this for clarification purposes, I guess. But yeah, I just do that. And then after all the magic maps are gone in different tab, I'm gonna look at all the highlighted rare maps. And as you can see, this one, for an example. Oh my god, this is a high roll of number of rare monsters. If I hit rarity and quantity on this, that's gonna be juicy. But yeah, either way. Now I would just, after all the magic maps are gone, I would just check all the highlighted maps, because there's a chance, again, that some of these maps are gonna have the rare monster modifiers. So, again, and I would, this way I would take the rest of my magic maps and put them into the extra inventory that I've just covered. And in that extra inventory, I would just type in some nonsense, because now if I click, I know that all of these maps are magic. And now if I click Augmentation Orb, which I want to do anyways, they're gonna be highlighted. And for me, this is much easier to see than this highlight. If it's actually grayed out, for me, it's much easier to see. So what I do next, I type in some nonsense, pick up the Orb of Augmentation and augment every single available map. That's gonna give it additional modifier. And then all of these maps should have one prefix, one suffix, as you can see. Yep. All of these are gonna have one prefix, one suffix. And what I'm gonna do next, I'm gonna just pick up these Omens of Sinistral Coronation. And what these do, Regal Orb will add only prefix modifiers. So I always buy them and pick a couple of these, activate them in my inventory. And then what I just do, I just type in some nonsense again. Take Regal Orb, don't forget to click your Omens, and use them on those maps, and they're gonna have added prefixes. As you can see, all of these maps are gonna have 2 prefixes, 1 suffix now. As you can see, all of them do. And now, what you can do is take all those maps, look at the modifiers, and if you really want to, if your build is super weak or something, if you really want to, you can now just search for items found, and it's the rarity of items found or quantity of items found modifiers are gonna be highlighted. Maps with that modifier are gonna be highlighted, and you can just run them as they are like this, with just 2 prefixes, 1 suffix, because you're gonna have 3 revives available. That means 4 chances all in all, right? The first one is when you enter the map, and then extra 3. So that's quite a lot if your build is really weak, but I wouldn't recommend doing that because you lose on the huge potential that you can get with some of extra steps of the next rolling that I'm gonna cover right now. So what I'm doing next is actually you have 2 options what to do right here. You can use just Exalted Orbs, just like I do right now, or you can absolutely buy the prefix Exalt Slam Omens, like these, but recently they've gone up in price quite a lot. I think a week ago they used to cost like 2.5, 3 Exalts each, and now they're more like 8 to 10 Exalts each, or 8 to 9. So yeah, I am not using these anymore, but that's an option you can absolutely do. So I'm gonna pay for 1 as an example. Okay, I'm gonna pay 9. Never mind. So first of all, what you can do is use this Omen of Sinistral Exaltation. Exalted Orb will add only prefix modifiers. And again, click it in your inventory and use it on any of those maps, and it's gonna add only prefix. This map, as you can see, has 2 prefixes, 1 suffix. And if I use the Exalt now, and look at that, it slammed hybrid number of rare monsters and magic monsters. So that's what you can do, but each of these slams costs 8 to 10 exalts, right? Because the Exalted Orb slam itself and the Omen itself. So what I do instead of using the Omen, because I think that it went a bit too high, and for my strategy I'm absolutely gonna do it on those higher magic find projects that I'm gonna do, but on this smaller one that I was doing right here, I don't think that's really that worth it. So what I was doing instead, I know that my character is well capable of just clearing non-Delhi tier 15, 16 maps, right? So what I did was I took Exalted Orbs and I would just slam them on every single map like this until it has only 1 revive. So that would mean 2 chances. Now you can see it has still 2 revives, and sometimes I would just check the map if it actually has 3 modifiers already. For example, this one doesn't, and yeah, I would just check them just in case. But usually what I do is I just slam them until I see one revive on all of them. And then they're basically done. I just look for items found again. And unfortunately these didn't roll. But yeah, that's what I do. Sometimes you can get 3 prefixes like in this case and 2 suffixes. Sometimes you actually get just 3 suffixes and 2 prefixes, but always if 1 revive is available, you're gonna have at least 2 prefixes. And as everything in this game is, it is up to you. You can just slam them another time and guarantee the last prefix, right? But honestly, I don't mind. Like, I can just sometimes leave some maps and don't roll them all the way through. And also, this thing that I'm doing, if I in the end find a map that is really bad, like, I don't know, this one doesn't really have anything, so this would be a traversing map, I could just as well take this map, slam 1 more Exalted Orb on it, and now it's a perfect map for towers, because in towers you want full FX tier 15 maps, right? So I would take this full FX map and put it into my full FX stash tab for tower running only, basically. Yep, and that's how I roll all the maps. Sometimes they turn really nice, like this one. Sometimes they turn trash, like this one. And sometimes they turn into glorious thing like this is. I cannot wait to run this map. But yep, that's how I roll the maps. The Atlas skill tree I was running with this strategy is this one right here. It is basically almost all the effect of explicit modifiers on waystones. So increase the effect of quantity and rarity and rare monsters and all of this stuff. And the rarity and the quantity small nodes, and also the precursors tablet effect small nodes, and all of these precursor chance procs. This is really good. Unstable energies. Unstable energies is real nice. You really feel it when you proc it. And yeah, unstable energy is kind of a no-brainer, I would say. Also, this node right here for the effect of modifiers again. And I mean, yeah, it's a simple skill tree. This is, I would say, quite important because this gives you 20% extra rare monsters or increased rare monsters. So that's good. Go for these. And I was pretty happy with this skill tree. But there are 2 things I was considering dropping and moving them someplace else. And first of all is this. This is just a placeholder point because, yeah, I didn't know where to put the last point. So I put it right here. And I mean, it's a bit of a meme thing, but I don't think it's that bad, right? Like, maybe the numbers could be a bit higher on this, but I don't think it's that bad because I would say chests, it's maybe I feel a bit guilty saying this, but I would say chests are pretty good now. And even the magic ones, sometimes they drop really good stuff, and from the rare chests, sometimes you can get really like lots of tiered items. I got like I think 2 tier 5 items and 1 tier 4 item from a rare chest, along with some Exalted Orbs and a Chaos Orb. That probably was the best rare chest I've got so far, and I don't think that's bad at all. And yeah, even the magic chest, because sometimes they can roll, so they drop lots of currency and all of this stuff. It is kind of, it feels like a bit of a guilty pleasure, but yeah, that's what I'm just gonna say. I kind of like this. But yeah, and then the next thing was local knowledge. And I'm kind of a bit of a split on this, because I really love the swamp and the water biome maps, with 40% increased chance to drop basic currency, you really feel this, and I mean it. You really feel it when you have local knowledge and you go to swamp or water. And yep, that feels great. But at the same time, I feel like I was mainly doing these maps. They were forest biomes maps, right? And 40% increased chance to drop jewels. I mean, it's not bad, right? But I'm not sure if it doesn't just convert some of the drops. I'm not sure how this works. I'm gonna be honest. I'm not sure how this works. But I feel like sometimes it can convert your normal drops. Like, let's take an extreme example. Let's say the slot machine would roll that you drop a divine, but the divine would turn into jewel just because of local knowledge. As I said, I'm not sure if that's how it works, but sometimes it feels like it. And of course, the grass biome maps increase chance to drop socket currency. Also, you really feel that one. And yeah, so local knowledge, I kinda like it and I kinda don't. I might go to a wiki and read about it if there's any info on it, because I'm curious. But if you're about to run into swamp or water biome, I think it is 100% worth it to lock in the local knowledge for the increased currency. You're really gonna feel it, trust me. Yep, but that's the Atlas skill tree. I mean, Expedition looks like this. Breach looks like this, but I wasn't focusing on these two in this farm. Like, yeah, I think I've got one Expedition tablet, and that's it. And Ritual looks like this. I don't even know when was the last time I changed my Ritual skill tree, honestly. And yeah, the boss skill tree looks like this. Not that many bosses in these maps that I've completed. Alright, so I clean my dump temp, turn on my currency affinity and mainly fragment affinity, and yeah, so probably all the loot's gonna be visible here. I'm not gonna include, of course, in the result section any trades. Trades are gonna be separately. I'm gonna put trades right into here, right into my currency stash tab. And yeah, here's gonna be all the things and you'll be able to see it. Okay, so I've done it. I've ran all 44 maps. All of them have been completed. As you can see, all the maps right here and all the maps right here. All of them were run twice, as I said, thanks to the precursors tablet. So all in all, it was 44 maps. And yeah, took me about 4 hours. And this is the loot. And I know my loot filter is really not strict, and I should have changed my loot filter, should have updated my loot filter like 3 weeks ago, but I was just too lazy. And also because of the patches, quite frequent patches they were doing at the beginning of the league, I kinda held up with patching my loot filter. So I went with NeverSync, what is it? NeverSync 2? NeverSync 3, sorry. Strict. And this was my loot filter I was using, and all of these items and all of these uniques and all of these uniques right here, not including the jewels, have been found in this farming session. 44 maps. Yeah, couple more uniques. Nothing crazy dropped, nothing extraordinary. The main thing is 4 raw divines. 2 of them were from strong boxes, 1 from boss, one just random, and lots of rare tier items that I need to just sort out. I already was checking them while I was basically picking them up, and yeah, I kept only the ones that were worth like exalt slamming or recombinating, basically. So all of these items are worth something, and yeah, I'm gonna exalt slam all of them. Not all of them, but some of them I'm gonna be using for recombinating. For example, these over 50 spirit chests. Someone always needs spirits on their body armor, right? resist gloves, I'm gonna exalt slam these and stuff like that. You know the drill. But yeah, I'm gonna sort everything out and I'll be back once I sort it. Alright, now I'm done with the hard work. The sorting's done. All the rares are right here, rare and magic items. And these are all the jewels I've got. And yeah, all the currencies. I don't know why is there empty space, but yeah, sorry about that. But this is all the currency. I've got a shit ton of tablets, and I mean a shit ton. A lot of expedition tablets. Honestly, I'm not sure why am I getting so many tablets. It might be something to do with the loot changes, but I can't remember reading anything about tablets themselves. So yeah, that's a bit weird, but yeah, I've got lots of expedition tablets. Just look. All of these expedition tablets, and they're worth something, right? I'm probably gonna use some because yeah, I don't want to buy any basically, so I'm probably gonna use some, but that's all the expedition tablets. And the rest is mixed, well, classic precursors, overseers, delirium, ritual, breach. Yeah, all this is basically all the tablets. Got lots of coins, lots of the currencies from the expedition itself. Couple runes. Yeah, just from the couple breaches, I've collected 2/3 of the breach of Breachstone and almost 1/3 of Simulacrum. And I've just done like 4 mirrors or something, and I might actually include mirror of Delirium into my next farm, I think, because last time I checked today, it was like 2 Simulacrums for 1 Divine, so they're quite expensive, they're not cheap, and with just 0 points on my Atlas skill tree in Delirium, and yeah, not focusing at all on Simulacrum Splinters, I was getting over 20 Simulacrum Splinters per mirror of Delirium, so that's pretty nice, I think. So something to keep in mind. Yeah, this isn't supposed to be here, sorry. And this also isn't supposed to be here, sorry. Yeah, but that's all the currency. I'm gonna sort everything right now. And if you're wondering why these are like that right here, it's because I've disenchanted all the worthless uniques that I've collected, and that's why I'm still collecting them, because I can disenchant them or maybe sometimes corrupt them just like these into some interesting outcomes, and I think these might sell for at least a couple chaos. And yeah, I disenchant them, and this is the currency I've got from the disenchanting. So since you now know why is it, well, or where does it come from, I can just put it into everything. Yep, because I'm absolutely gonna include those. And yep, this is the corruption I've got on 3 dragons. I might sell that for something at least. This is 1 widow ale. I'll drop 3 of them. 2 were shit. This one might sell for something at least. Red blade banner, pretty much nothing, maybe like 3 chaos or something. And 3 socket, pillar of a cage god. I don't even know if anyone's playing pillars, so yeah, might sell, might not sell, I have no idea. Yep, but this is unsorted or sorted but unconverted, and I'm gonna convert basically everything that is liquid. I'm gonna convert it right now or leave it overnight to convert. And yep, tomorrow I'll record the rest, I guess. And of course I need to check all of these rare items and magic items and slam them, just like I was saying, but none of these items gonna be included in the video itself. Okay, I'm done. I've liquidated everything, and my rough estimate before I did it was that I'm gonna be having like 6 extra divines from all the liquidable currency basically, and logbooks. Yeah, so that's what I changed. Just transferred logbooks and all the currencies into Divine and Exalts. And this is the result. I was right, and I even got a bit more. I thought I'm gonna be having 10 Divines. all in all. And I have about 10.5 divines. There's what? 113 Exalted Orbs, so about a half a divine. Yep, and I know that to some of you this might not sound like much, right? To me it also doesn't sound like that much, but I mean, at the same time, I didn't do any crazy setup, and it was a bit of basically a strategy that I think everyone can do, because the investment was next to nothing if you don't count the unique precursors tablet that I've solo self-found myself. I've dropped it. It costs 2 divines, yes, but I did it mainly for the citadel with the unique tablet, and that was covered in my last video. So if you haven't seen that one, be sure to check it. The link will be in the description. But yeah, I used the tablet that enables you to run a map twice on this tower, and that meant I could run the citadel twice, thus get the faded fragments twice. And that's what I did, and that just this alone covered all the costs, and I even made a bit more of the unique tablet. So basically all of the extra maps I ran 44 instead of 22 thanks to the tablet, right? And all of those 22 maps were basically for free. And all of the other precursors tablets I didn't buy, basically, because I found them all. And look at this one. This is a that's just perfect if I ever find this exact setup that I was talking about right now again. Yeah, this is perfect for the thing, for the citadel / magic find hybrid, I guess. But yeah, these are the results. I think that's good. I'm super happy with that. Honestly, it is just about the same as my expectation was. I thought I'm gonna be having around 10 divines with just the currencies, and that's exactly what I have. And I didn't count a single one of these rare items, because they just need exalt slamming or they need recombinating, and that's it. So I didn't count any of these, and also I didn't count any of those uniques, because I don't know when they're gonna sell. And yeah, I still don't know if I'll be counting corruptions on items or in these farm videos. Still don't know. Guess we'll see in the future. But for now, they're not included. It's just this and that's it, basically. So every single one of these rare items and every single one of sold rares and these jewels that I'm gonna be exalt slamming and probably valing are gonna be a premium. So if I get lucky, I can make much more than 10.5 divines. If I don't get lucky, I'm gonna make what? Extra half a divine? Yeah. Think of it what you will. But yeah, I am done with this farm. Now the plans are probably, I've got a bit more citadels ready, or at least visible, so I think I'm gonna run the citadels and hope that I stumble upon a good magic find setup. But the thing I surely want to do next is to find a corruption like this, or I've got some right down here. Yeah, to find a corruption, then cleanse it, take all the towers around it, and basically empower those cleansed maps, because what I've found out so far, the cleansed monsters seem to have inherently much higher chance to drop currencies. And I mean a lot of currency. So the next thing I want to do is really find a corruption, cleanse it, and ideally get like 3 overlapping towers. Yeah, 3 probably would be minimum that I'm gonna do. So find a corruption with 3 overlapping towers and clear all the corrupted maps. Get really good precursors tablets. And I mean, sorry, not clear all the corrupted. Clear the nexus and then do all the cleansed maps. Sorry, not corrupted. Then I would buy really good precursors tablets, empower all those maps real nice, and I would run all of my juicier maps. Things like these with hybrid and number of rare monsters, or these hybrid rarity quantity, or even maybe these super good maps like hybrid quantity, rarity, and number of rare monsters, or this one. This one is just special. 28 quantity, 101 rarity, and rare monsters have one additional modifier. This is just the map that I'm so curious to run actually. Yeah, but that's what I'm gonna do. And also another good thing about cleansed maps is I don't have any here, but yeah, the modifiers on corrupted maps, right? For example, this one has the modifier monsters in your maps deal 23% less damage, monsters in your maps have 42 more life. And one of the modifiers on cleansed maps is it just lowers your experience gained and gives you like 100 increased rarity of items found, and that's a lot. So ideally I want to prioritize maps like that, but it is completely RNG. What modifier do you get when you cleanse the corrupted nexus, right? Also, another really nice modifier in my opinion is the modifier that adds packs of cleansed monsters, and it adds lots of packs to the map, like sometimes I think 16 packs or 20 packs of cleansed monsters, and all of these packs have a higher chance to drop currencies, and at the same time it's just more monsters in your map. It's more rare monsters, more normal, more magic monsters in your maps. And I think if I run these super juiced maps, I'm gonna actually full clear the maps, because I think there's a really good chance drops at least something even from the normal monsters. And yep, that's basically what I'm planning to do right now. Complete the citadels, find a good corruption with overlapping towers, invest into it, and yep, then run it. I don't know if it will be on this character, because I'm planning on doing another one. Spoiler alert, it's gonna be crossbows and maces hybrid, hopefully, if I can make it work. Yep, but I mean, that's it. I think that's it. That's what I'll be doing. As I said, I'm happy with the outcome. Really happy. Now I'm gonna run the other citadels. And yeah, don't forget to like and subscribe if you liked the video. And hope this was somewhat helpful again, because I don't know, I just felt like making Rarity video. I made a video about the citadel running, right? And this was the perfect area to try something, and I did, and it worked out fine. I mean, it is good. It gave me 10.5 divines, and I think no like new player or maybe even other players are gonna be fine with just this strategy. Doesn't require much setting up, right? It's just 4 towers, and this particular example was just finding a citadel, and I was fortunate enough to have overlapping towers right here and right here. So that's what I did. Just sometimes lucky. Yeah, but with that, thank you very much for watching, Exiles, and see you in the next one. Bye bye.